Good evening and welcome, folks, to yet another episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast. It's episode 198, our 22nd episode for season 6. Goodness me, season 8. What am I talking about? Yep. Geez, how time flies. My name is Tonchi Prusak. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you here tonight. And yes, you saw at the top of the show, big thank you to this week's sponsor, Eddie Contel, who also sponsored last week's episode. We really thank Eddie for his contribution to the show. We also thank the Masters Summer League, who will be the sponsors of next week's episode. We look forward to having that episode. And a massive thank you to everyone who has donated so far to the Geelong Region Soccer Show's GoFundMe page. We've got a total of $810 at last count. You can please donate. That's just shy of 3 episodes. So, in effect, we will have at least 26 episodes this year if we can get over the line. Big shout out to our business advertising sponsors as well tonight. Curva Coaching Geelong, who have been with us all year. United League Security. Big shout out to the owner of United League Security, Vlad Zetovic. It was his birthday on Saturday. And Private Nursing Care as well for all your at-home nursing needs. On today's show, we've got a doozy of a show. We've got lots to get through. Obviously, usual story with regards to all of the news from the weekend just gone by. Plus, also, we've got quite a fair bit of local talent, or a lot of local talent was on show last week at the School Sports Australia games in Melbourne. And the boys under 18 team went through the whole tournament undefeated. There were three boys from Geelong in that competition. We had Rocco Kovacek on the left there. He's from Western Heights. In the middle, Dom Postorino from St. Joseph's College. And on the far right, Marcus Bay, also from Western Heights. Well, we'll be catching up with one of those three, Dom Postorino, a little bit later on in the show. He's got some really interesting information to share, or words of advice for any young players as well. But also he talks to us about his experiences at last week's School Sports Australia Games. Also coming on the show later on tonight, Coach Her Coffee Morning. That's coming up this Sunday. It's the second time that the Coach Her Coffee Morning is having a session, a coffee catch-up, and that's happening this Sunday. To tell us all about that is Football Victoria's coaching instructor and the creator of the Coach Her program, local lady Emily Sutcliffe. She'll be joining us a bit later on in the show. Folks, we've got a massive show lined up for you. As we said, we're not going to hold off any longer. We're going to dive straight into the news desk. But before that, here's a word from one of our sponsors, United League Security. United League Security is your sports security specialists, keeping your employees, guests and assets safe at all times. At United League Security, we can assist with all security needs, but we specialise in event and sports security. We provide licensed security services throughout Victoria with an established presence in Melbourne, Ballarat, Bendigo and of course Geelong. We support a wide range of clients including logistics providers, event organisers, hospitality venues and commercial property managers who require consistent site-aware protection. Our team of experienced security professionals is dedicated to ensuring the safety and security of your event so you can focus on providing a great experience for your attendees. For more information about any of our services, contact us on 8624 0599 or visit our website at www.unitedleaguesecurity.com.au. And welcome back to this week's news desk. Let's kick off straight away. The Victorian Premier League 1 men's competition played on the weekend. North Geelong Warriors hosted Bulleen Lions, and unfortunately for the Warriors, came away with a rather big 4-0 loss at the hands of the Lions. There's a catch-up round happening this weekend. Otherwise, no games would be being played because of the Dockery Cup final. And this Saturday at 3 p.m. at Kevin Bartlett Reserve, the North Geelong Warriors taking on Melbourne Serbia. The Melbourne Serbia are currently in 7th position, but as we speak, they've got a game being played tonight against Melbourne Victory. Victory, I think, a third at the moment, so it's a tough game, but nonetheless, Melbourne Serbia are 4 points clear of North Geelong Warriors at the moment, obviously with that game in hand. The Warriors slipped to 10th position on the competition standings. They're well clear of the relegation zone, but certainly well clear of the promotion zone as well. So 32 points for Melbourne Serbia, 28 at the moment for the North Geelong Warriors. On the weekend, there were no games played in the Victorian Premier League Women's because of the Nike FC Cup final. So all the senior women's games were not played this weekend, just gone by. That score obviously was from last week's result. So this week, Geelong Galaxy coming up against Manningham United at Petty's Reserve. That game on Saturday kicking off at 3 p.m. Galaxy currently in 5th position. Manningham United have a game in hand. They're in 9th position, but a good 16 points off Galaxy. Galaxy with this win could edge closer to second place at the moment. And there have been rumours that Bundoora United, who are doing very, very well at the moment, are unlikely to accept a position in the NPLW Victoria competition should they finish on top or in second spot. So stay tuned for that little bit of information or news at hand. Men's State League results from the weekend, round 17, saw Geelong Soccer Club return to winning ways with an emphatic 3-1 win over sister club Sydenham Park away from home. Ayrton Redmore Olavo de Andrade Santos, and I'm not going to try and pronounce Noah's name, Gasemimanesh. I did try it. Hopefully, I did justice to it. They were the 3 goal scorers for the Lions. In State League 2 action last Friday night, Corio lost to Geelong Rangers, 2-1. Jaden Pisak scoring for Corio. For Rangers, Anthony Piratina and an own goal. Brimbank Stallions drew with Surf Coast 0-0 the following day, while Bell Park managed to remain in second position thanks to a win over fourth-placed Laverton 1-0. Incredibly important result that one was. Gianmarco Algerino scoring for the All Whites. Over the page in State League 5 action, Lara United lost to Bendigo City 2-6. Jacob Meehan scoring a brace for the home side. Deakin Ducks travelled to Thornbury Athletic and came away with a solid 4-0 win to maintain striking distance of a promotional spot to State League 4 next season. Cameron Pike, Will van der Sar, Sam Wyeth and Alexander Morefoot scoring for the Ducks. In State League 6 action, yes, you read it correctly. Ocean Grove absolutely annihilated Glenroy Lions, the bottom team, 9-1. David Favetta scoring a hat-trick, Shannon Toyne a brace, Tom Fui, Ollie Hunniford, Jack Banks and an own goal contributing to Ocean Grove's 9-1 rout. Unfortunately, Barwon Soccer Club couldn't do the same against Moreland Eagles. Rather, Moreland Eagles inflicted somewhat of a rout over Barwon Soccer Club, winning 5-1. Luke Peacock scoring the only goal for Barwon. Now, this week, it's a catch-up round, but there are 4 games in the Men's State League competition. In State 1, Geelong hosts third-placed Layla United. So Geelong in second at the moment, Layla United in third. In fact, I think Geelong have jumped to first now as a result of last weekend's win. So an important game, therefore, for the Lions to maintain that top spot. That game kicking off at the early time of 3 p.m. On Saturday afternoon. In State League 4 action, Bell Park travels to Keon Park, 5th place Keon Park, at JC Donath Reserve. And this game is a late game. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff, so a very late game for Bell Park. In State League 6 action, we've got Moreland Eagles taking on Ocean Grove, so 3rd versus 4th. This should be a great game. Unfortunately, that game's not here in Geelong. That game is at Rupert Wallace Reserve in Moreland. Game kicking off at 3 p.m. But Barwon will be at home against 8th place Spring Hills, so they do need a win to certainly keep ahead of Spring Hills. That game kicking off at Grovedale Reserve. And also, do take account, it is an earlier kickoff of 3 p.m, not the customary 5:15 that Barwon usually stages its home games. As we mentioned, there was no games played in the women's senior women's competitions. In State League 1, Women's State League 1, North Geelong lost to top team Caroline Springs last week. That was a 5-3 result. This weekend there's a game at Alco Park, kick-off at 3 p.m, round 14 clash. North Geelong Warriors taking on the Altona City. The Warriors are in 8th position, Altona City in 3rd. Although they're still reasonably safe from relegation or the relegation zone, North Geelong certainly needs to start picking up points and avoid that threat of relegation altogether. Let's move along to local league action. Geelong Region Men's Division 1 last weekend saw the round 9 fixtures. Armstrong United lost to Surf Coast 1-3. FC Leopold lost to Geelong Rangers 1-4. Barwon defeated Deakin Ducks 3-1 at home, and Bell Park defeated Golden Plains 3-0 up at the Bell Park Sports Club in the Midland Highway Derby. This weekend, we've got 3 games on Friday, 1 game on Sunday. Golden Plains at home to second last placed FC Leopold. Bottom side, Deakin Ducks taking on 6th placed Armstrong United. This should be a good game. Geelong Rangers in 4th versus Barwon in 5th. And a top of the table clash on Sunday at Banyulwarri Reserve in Torquay. Surf Coast hosting top team Bell Park. In the women's, there was no change to the positions on the ladder at all after round 9. Barwon defeated Geelong Rangers in a close game, 2-1 at Grovedale Reserve. Surf Coast easily accounted for Ocean Grove 5-2. Bell Park defeated Lara United in a battle for 4th spot, 1-0. And Deakin Ducks defeated Armstrong United 2-0. Round 10 fixtures sees all 4 games being played this Saturday afternoon. Lara United hosts second place Surf Coast. Armstrong United bottom side taking on 4th place Bell Park. Both those games at 2 o'clock. Then we've got 2 games at 3 o'clock. Ocean Grove hosting top team Barwon, and Geelong Rangers do battle with Deakin Ducks. Now, as we mentioned, last week was the School Sports Australia football competitions. They had all the other sports, but in our case, it was a case of the under-18 boys team actually broke a 29-year drought to bring home the championship trophy. So well done to Team Victoria, 18 years and under boys team. Throughout the entire tournament, these incredible students showed unmatched grit, unbreakable discipline, and a true growth mindset, getting better and stronger with every single match. 4 games played, 4 wins, and there we have Rocco Kovacek on the left, Dom Postorino in the middle, and on the far right, Marcus Bay, all 3 from Geelong. And we will be hearing from Dom Postorino a little bit later on in the show. Coffee catch-up. We spoke about this earlier in the show. This Sunday, 9th of August, from 9 o'clock till 10:30 at Howard Glover Reserve, Geelong City Football Club, which is in East Geelong. Come along and grab a hot drink, have a chat with other female and gender diverse coaches. Great chance to network, chat, and connect. You can RSVP. There's the barcode. If you go to the Football Victoria Geelong website or Facebook page, you'll see the QR code there. It's the second Coacher Coffee Morning, a relaxed catch-up for any female coaches and any woman who has ever thought about giving coaching a go. No experience needed, just a coffee, good company, and a chance to connect with other women across our clubs, whether you already coach a junior team or are just curious about where to start. This Sunday from 9 a.m. till 10:30 a.m. Geelong City Football Club. Very chilled, very relaxed, very informal, and we'll find out a little bit more about what any coaches or prospective coaches can expect from the second Coacher Coffee session. We'll be chatting to Emily Sutcliffe a bit later on in the show, who'll have all the details about that. Okay, we're going to take a short break. When we return, it's time for our very, very first guest for this evening's show. We will be speaking to young Dominic Postorino.
The world is yours. So work hard, and you can have whatever it is you want.
Welcome back to the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast, and I'm in the company of a great young man, lots of talent, who on the weekend, well, just last week actually, came back from the School Sports Australia National Championships with a gold medal for Victoria, Team Victoria. Dom Postorino. Dominic, how are you?
Good, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure, mate. What a big week of soccer it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Well, first of all, how did you get to that stage of being selected for the Victorian team?
Well, obviously there were a few trials that throughout school that I had to attend on Tuesday nights. There was 4 or 5 weeks of trials that we had to go through, and obviously, I was lucky to get picked as one of the 17 boys to go.
Yeah, they're pretty full on. Obviously, state squad, so of course it's going to be pretty full on.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of other boys from Geelong as well.
Yeah, Marcus Bay, who plays for Western United, and Rocco Kovacek, who's at Green Gully.
Yeah, and he's, I think, at Western Heights College, is that right, here in Geelong? Yeah,
yeah.
So very, very talented. And, of course, you're at St. Joey's, yes?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and before we go on to School Sports Australia, St. Joey's also has got a great pedigree of football, having played at various levels and done really, really well. So, and obviously you're playing here at North Geelong, your club football as well. So outside of all of that, you got some really good preparation, I suppose, leading up to the championships.
100%. 100%. I think when it comes to, especially when you're training with a lot of talent around you, it also brings your level up as well. So very lucky to have that that group of boys and that group of players around
pushing
me.
Now, Don, let's talk about the championships. 4 games, was it? 5 games?
4 games. Unbeaten.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good experience.
Off the top of your head, can you remember the scores?
Yeah, so first game, obviously, first game's always a tough game. Yeah. Got to set the tone. We won 4-3 against ACT. That was high intensity, a lot of pressing. The ball wasn't as smooth as we would have thought it to be, but yeah, we got the job done. Second game, we played Queensland, more comfortable game. We held possession a lot more, 1-2-1. And then by far our toughest game was against New South Wales, the next one. They'd won it, I believe, 23 out of the last 25 years.
Wow.
So we got the job done.
Yeah.
2-1 against them as well. And then by then we'd already won the tournament. But we versus WA our last day. And just to prove a point, we went and smashed them 11-1.
Undefeated, smashed them 11-1. And I believe it's the first time a Victorian team has won it in, like, is it 20 years or more?
29 years.
29 years, that's right, 1997 or something like that. That's an incredible achievement. Well done. Obviously, it was held at the home of the Matildas. Do you reckon it helped having it in your home state?
Yes and no. I guess because we got to go back and fully reset after every night was probably helpful. Whereas where the other teams, where I guess constantly they have to have a specific routine for the team, they would have to, and especially because different weather. Usually up
Go Victorian weather.
north, it's pretty warm, so they have to get used to the cold, wet.
Speaking of cold, while we're having this interview, it is absolutely freezing. The sun sort of dropped down, and it's absolutely freezing here at Alco Park. Now, you had a big weekend, obviously on the weekend. You've just finished helping out the under-18s. Obviously, still age eligible for the under-18s here at North Geelong. But you generally play on in the 20s and the 23s, so part of the senior team setup.
Predominantly the 23s. Good squad, very young as well. Most of the boys are 2007, 2008, which is good because it just shows how capable this club is of producing young talents and obviously competing at high age group levels. So.
How are you going? Like you said, you're a striker.
Yeah, good.
Banging the goals away.
Yes, I'm leading the team in the team contributions at the moment, which is good. But yeah, obviously having a great group of boys around me is always so much easier. So.
Now, personally, from a personal point of view, what's your plans? You're what, 17 now?
Yeah.
Turning 18.
Turn 18 in June.
No, that's all right. So it's so you've turned 18. So what's the next step? You know, obviously looking at solidifying yourself in senior football. Is that right?
Yeah, obviously I want to try and break through within the next year. Try and break through into the senior squad. Hopefully I get the opportunity to. But yeah, just taking it slowly, taking it as it is, trying to just produce the best football I can, and we had Stuart Begg on just recently, like he was coaching his 100th game here at North Geelong, and you've got coaches like Sean Marn as well, who's also involved at Western Heights College, one of the assistant coaches and under-23 coaches. Who are some of the other coaches here that have currently got a big impact on you? Obviously.
And past, I guess some past coaches as well.
My current coach, Ryan Williams, the 23s coach, he's unbelievable. He's a teacher as well, which helps. He helps us a lot through training, especially he gives really precise directions. how we can develop. He makes it so easy to develop. He makes it the intensity is always super high in our in our sessions as well.
Yeah.
For past, obviously with the 18s, I've had Paul Bay, but he's been my coach for a long time now. Close on, juniors since probably under 11s, and then Joey Didalitza, who was obviously a massive part in developing in the junior NPL.
Now you mentioned intensity. That's a really interesting point and an important point, I guess, as well, because sometimes really hard to keep that intensity. And you're used to playing in rep teams. You're used to playing at higher level age groups as well. How important do you find that intensity and maintaining that intensity for you personally as well, when you maybe drop down into, say, the under 18s, where maybe not all the players are your level, without kind of sort of dropping down to their level? How do you, as an individual, as a part of that team, how do you try and keep that intensity level up, collectively speaking? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess bringing the intensity up also can mean like slowing the game down, calming it down as well.
Yeah.
But also what is probably the most important when you come down to 18s, like all of us, is obviously you have to give like a lot of talk, and being loud on the pitch is
so also, like a leadership role. Yeah.
Kind of being a leader at these is what keeps the intensity high.
Does it come naturally to you, or are you a kind of a shy person, or do you?
Pretty quiet as a young boy. I've just getting used to it now. Becoming more, trying to be as big as of a leader as I can, and just like whatever I can do to keep the intensity high on the pitch obviously means the most. So
and when you come back from something like the national championships, you won a gold medal. It's a phenomenal achievement. Do you find your teammates really also sort of get inspired, more so on the field than off the field? Like when you step onto the park, do you find that they're sort of trying to up the ante a little bit, because Dom's with us and Dom's done really well, so we want to kind of do that as well?
I guess just whenever you have a special group of players, it just brings everyone's
kind of up. Yep.
It's just whenever there's one leader, it becomes 2, then 3, then 11 on the whole pitch. So when one boy steps up, it's good to see the whole group of boys step up on the pitch.
Phenomenal, mate. Fantastic. Congratulations on first place at the Australian Championships, School Sports Australia. We look forward to hearing more and more about your future accolades as well. But all the best, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good on you.
Thank you.
Folks, that was Don Postorino winning gold at last week's School Sports Australia National Championships. We're going to return after this very, very short break, and we'll continue with tonight's episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast.
When you or a loved one need professional nursing care at home, experience and compassion matter. Private Nursing Care provides personalised, one-on-one nursing services throughout the Geelong and Surf Coast region, delivered by registered nurse Christina Skorjanik. Services include diabetes management, wound care, medication management, home care package assessments, continence and catheter care, compression stocking application, nursing reviews and personal care, tailored to meet your individual needs. Whether you're recovering from illness, living with a chronic condition, or simply require ongoing nursing support, Private Nursing Care is committed to helping you remain safe, comfortable and independent in your own home. To learn more or arrange a consultation, contact Christina at Private Nursing Care. Private Nursing Care, professional nursing, personalised for you.
Well, today we're located here at Howard Glover Reserve, which is the home of Geelong City Football Club, newly renamed Geelong City Football Club. And it's right here on the weekend, in fact on Sunday, that the second ever Coacher coffee catch-up session is going to be held for the female coaches and prospective female coaches of the Geelong region. To tell us a bit more about that is Football Victoria's own coacher instructor, I think I've got that right, Emily Sutcliffe. How are you, Emily?
Yeah, good, thanks, Sanchi. How are you?
Good. Now, we've had you on the show many a time to talk about Galaxy, to talk about the junior coaching side of things here, but obviously we got you here to talk about the coacher programs. For those that don't understand what it is, tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, so Coacher was kind of my idea back in early 2025. Basically, a little bit about my own journey as well in terms of trying to attract support and retain more female coaches across the state. So yeah, like I said, for myself coming in here as a female coach over 10 years ago now, there was nothing really in terms of a network, or I didn't know where to reach out to, I didn't know where to start. The coaching courses that I went on, it was the same back at FA Wales as well. I was probably the only female coach, or maybe one of two female coaches there as well. So yeah, when I came into the position at Football Victoria, I kind of said, let's make a sustainable program where female coaches or prospective female coaches know that where they can go to, and we can provide learning environments for those. You can choose from a mixed gender course or female only environment as well. So yeah, we're creating quite a few opportunities through that. We've got a bit of funding at the moment as well. And yeah, Coacher will be that sustainable program that's always open for female coaches to come along.
Yeah, brilliant. On last week's show, we had your team, Galaxy United, who have signed a 5-year tenancy agreement with Golden Plains, and we spoke with Aaron, the president there, of just the opportunities that are presenting themselves to girls and to women at the elite level. I guess the next step really here in Geelong is the fact trying to attract more and more coaches, quality coaches, and quality female coaches. We need more of that. How like this is the second session now. How'd the first session go at Barnes Soccer Club a few months ago?
Yeah, really good, really good. We had a good turnout there, and Sharon Gibbons was really instrumental in making that happen at Barwon as well. And it was a bit of a, I suppose it's an idea that we came up with the coach education team at Football Victoria, just to give it a go. And obviously being Geelong based, we kind of chose Geelong as the pilot for that first one. And yeah, the reaction from everyone there was really good as well. We had a really kind of informal session. People can just come along and grab a cuppa and just have a chat, which was really nice. And we had coaches that had previously coached that are no longer coaching, and it's, you could see cogs turning of going,
how good is that?
Come and help here and do that. And then we had brand new coaches that have just stepped in as like either currently playing or they've taken an under-7s team for the first time, kind of going, I struggled with the first session. Is there any ideas people have? And those conversations just organically started happening around the table. And yeah, it was a really kind of sit back moment, just see people chatting away and sharing experiences, sharing ideas. And that's the whole point really, is just being able to, any female that's interested in coaching, whether they're 14 years or older, they can just come along and just have a bit of a chat.
Yeah, and have you noticed kind of things starting to turn? Have you noticed a lot of female coaches, girls, mums, etc., who were kind of reluctant to get involved, and now actually saying, yeah, you know what, this is great. It's not as harrowing as I might have thought it'd be, and maybe just as enjoyable than they probably initially thought it wouldn't be.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think that's what we're seeing happening, and I think that there's a lot of mums, sisters, grandmas, aunties that will probably be walking the dog at training or jogging around the pitch, and it's just about making them realise a little bit of a tap on the shoulder, and might take a few times to ask them to come and help. But if as a club, if you're wanting more female coaches, you've got to try and look at your environment that you're creating as well, and do they feel welcome to come in? And yeah, a lot of the time, if you ask them to come and help a session and they enjoy it, then they're more likely to come back as well. So a big one I always say to females is, I'm sure at some stage they've had to teach a child to brush their teeth or do their laces, and that's coaching really. So it's the football knowledge we can build on later down the line, and that's part of our coaching courses and our workshops and everything else. But yeah, just having that empathy and being able to communicate and being able to make sure the kids are having fun at training, that's the main thing.
And you mentioned some kind of like real life applications of teaching kids to brush their teeth or to keep the room nice and tidy. They're kind of, you're coaching them there. But I guess for the coaches themselves, for the ladies involved as well, this is a great opportunity, I suppose, to practice their public speaking in front of kids, to get their steps up. You have a lot of mums and sisters and what you're not wanting to get fit. This is a great way of doing it, depending on what level you're doing. But there's so much more to than just coaching a football team, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're developing people at the end of the day, and football gives you so much more than just the game on the pitch. So I'm sure a lot of people watching this podcast know how much football means to all of us, and I know personally I wouldn't be in Geelong still on the other side of the world if it wasn't for football. So I think that's what we're just trying to create, those environments where women and girls feel comfortable to come in, they feel comfortable to share their experiences, and hopefully they'll go back into club environments and help us make stronger clubs. And more, we know how the player participation's growing. We just need our coaching participation to
surge like the playing numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
What can we expect? What can ladies expect on Sunday here at Howard Glover?
Yeah, so it'll just be, like I said, a really informal environment. We'll have a few coffees, teas. I know not everyone's a coffee drinker, so there'll be a bit of a selection there. But yeah, we're just really informal, just have a chat. I'll be there kind of facilitating it to a degree, but it's kind of stepping away from the formal coach education. It's just come in, have a chat. I've already seen a few people have filled out the quick online form just to let us know they're coming so that we can see the numbers. So there's good numbers at the beginning. There's a little comment section on there if there's anything in particular people want to talk about. So I know there's a few people kind of say, oh, I'm currently coaching, I'm struggling a little bit with some of the behavior of parents on the side, or I'm struggling with warm-up ideas, I'm struggling, and we can just informally chat about that kind of stuff there.
So it's really nothing formal. You can just come here, have a bit of a Sunday morning chat, a coffee, as you say, meet new people, and it's nothing really harrowing. And even, I guess, people that are interested that haven't yet, they haven't committed, but they don't need to commit. It's just simply, stick your nose, see what it's about, and you never know what may unlock. Is that right?
Exactly, yeah. So no pressure to stay for, if you want to stay for 10 minutes or the full hour and a half, then just come in, have a chat. Like I said, there'll be coaches there that are currently coaching. We might have people that have previously coached that might be looking for somewhere for next year or looking to come in and help, or we might have brand new coaches that haven't even stepped onto the park yet. So yeah, it's really, really informal. And the main thing will just be, if there are any I know we've got a few female TDs out in the region. We've got some really experienced coaches. Encourage those females to come in, because they're the ones that, the trailblazers, if you like, in the region, that can really help build this network. So that we've got a WhatsApp group that runs as well. So anyone that attends is welcome to join that, so they can post on, there's been some posts since the last one of podcasts and different things on there. This might help with, discussion points. So yeah, there's all
that's awesome. So it just sort of seems to me, as much as you want to get involved, or as little as you want to get involved, there's an opportunity there for anyone who wants to get involved, simply put. Has there been any other, you mentioned that this was a pilot project. Have there been any other sessions Victoria-wide since?
We haven't just yet. Like I said, we're going to run a couple. There's a few of our scholars from last year that did the A diploma and B diplomas last year. So they're turning into our lead hers, if you like, within Coach Hers. So they'll be the ones that we'll be calling on soon to then be able to replicate this at different parts of the regions. So yeah, we're hopefully in the off season we'll be rolling all that out as well. And there's a lot going on. We've got our foundation of goalkeeping running in a couple of weeks. That's our first ever female foundation of goalkeeping running at the home.
How are numbers looking for that? Is it sold out yet?
Yeah, it's gone. We're actually looking at having to put on a second course for that one, because we've got such great numbers. Melissa Maisels will be running that as well from Victory. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. We've got more foundation of footballs. Last week we handed out our C diploma scholarships as well. So pleased to say there's a couple from the Geelong region that have been awarded a C diploma scholarship. So yeah, there's on B diplomas, we've got our A diploma scholars have been accepted again, so that'll be the only course that runs in Victoria next year. Again, we've got females on that as well. So yeah, it's just it's snowballing big time, which is brilliant, and we're seeing a surge already. This time last year we were at 725 female coaches registered in Victoria. We're now over 1,300. So yeah, we're getting there. It's just making sure that we're supporting.
Well, as you mentioned, the foundations course, it's an apt name, isn't it? Because we're really trying to set the foundations. And the conversation I love getting into with people in Geelong is the numbers seem to be exploding, the player numbers, that is. But we're struggling at the elite level to develop, both at the men's and at the women's, boys and girls levels, elite players playing, or elite teams playing in the NPL competition, NPLW competition. How important is it getting that foundation of elite level coaches, A level, A license, B license, C license, etc., churning out so that we can start coaching some of that talent. Because I think the last time I saw it was at the country championships.
Yep.
And if we're going to look at that as the level below NPL or whatever, there's some seriously good talent in Geelong.
Yeah, there definitely is. It was really, really nice to kind of sit back a little bit at the country champs and enjoy it, and just watch, especially the younger girls coming through, and just seeing how many teams we had as well. I remember when I did the country champs a few years ago, we were kind of struggling a little bit for numbers. So yeah, great to see our region on show there as well. But yeah, I think that we always go with the quality over quantity. So we want quality coaches coming through. And I think sometimes there's a little bit of a trap where people fall into to go, I've got my C diploma, I need to get on my B next, then I'm going to get on the A, and not actually sit and put the experience out on the park and enjoy having the different scenarios and challenges come at you in different teams and things like that as well. So I'd always encourage people to go on the course and learn put into practice what you've learned from there as well, and just be out there. The more you're out there coaching, the more sessions you're putting on, you're going to be able to figure things out for yourself.
And as you mentioned, snowballing effect, I guess if we get those coaches more involved, developing better quality players, the standard's going to lift, and hopefully within 5 years we'll see teams in the NPL, NPLW competitions. That would be great.
Yeah, well, we'll see how Galaxy go with these last 4 games, but it's definitely something that we're trying to set our sights on, is getting a team from the region back into the NPLW. I think that would be
a good segue into Galaxy. Galaxy doing really well this year under Jake Butler, and some new faces there as well. At the moment, I think 4th, is that right? And within striking distance of the top 2.
Yeah, it's all very tight.
Very close.
We're down, I think it's 3 points difference between 5th and 2nd. So yeah, a few unlucky results that haven't gone our way. But yeah, it's much. Out of all my years I've been playing in Galaxy, it's one of my most enjoyable seasons, for sure.
That was going to be my next question. How are you enjoying it now? Because the last few years it has been a bit of a struggle, but you've been there at the highs when it was the NPLW competition. You've played in the NPLW yourself, and now you've played in the VPLW for quite a few years. And how does this squad here compare to maybe some of the years that you've played in the past?
Yeah, I think this year it's the big one is that we're competing with some of the top sides as well. I think there's a real togetherness in everything that we're doing. Like you said, there's quite a few new faces in there, but it just feels like whatever challenges we've had coming our way, whether that's moving grounds or moving home, which we know has happened before as well, it's just that there's a good group of girls there that just want to do really well for each other and want to play at the highest standard we can. And as you've mentioned, I've travelled over to Melbourne and East Melbourne and West Melbourne and training 3 nights a week and things like that. It's just I want to be able to stay within 20-30 minutes of where I live and be able to play at a high level. I think I want that for all the young ones coming through as well. We shouldn't have to have everyone travelling to Melbourne just to be able to compete at NPLW. So that's the mission. Hopefully I'm there still on the pitch to see it happen.
Well, we certainly hope so. If not, at least coaching. Hopefully coaching, if not.
Crossed.
But Emily, thank you so much once again. We love having you on the show. A real great insight into the local football environment, if you like. But for those of you who are still umming and ahhing about this Sunday morning, come along. What's the best way that they can register or get in touch?
Yeah, so the best one would be going to the Football Geelong Facebook page or website. The RSVP form is on there, so they just need to fill that out. Just let us know they're coming. And I do know a bit of feedback we have had is that it is clashing with some games. We've tried to put it on a Sunday because I'm aware that a lot of our women and girls teams now play on a Saturday in Geelong. So we tried to put it on the Sunday. I know that's still not ideal. We've got quite a few coaches that are coaching male teams as well. But if the clubs can get behind it and really help trying to find some cover and just allowing, I said, we're running every kind of quarter at the moment, every 2 months, every quarter to do these opportunities. But the connections that we'll hopefully build here will help those coaches throughout the whole season. So if they can help arrange some cover and then just come along and grab a cuppa and have a chat.
Well, I think for 2 hours allowing your coaches to get out and about and network with other like-minded coaches is an investment in the coaches themselves. Emily, once again, thank you very much, and all the best with the coacher session this Sunday, but also with the program overall, and Galaxy, of course.
Thanks, Dungy, and thank you to Geelong City as well to agreeing to host. That's a great help for us, and it's a nice central location. Like I said, we've got coaches coming from North Geelong, Lara, all the way down to Drysdale and Bellarine. So I feel like this is a great central location for everyone to get to. So
absolutely.
See more people then.
Yeah, absolutely. On that note, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll continue with tonight's episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast. It's our 22nd episode of the year, another 4 episodes after this week. And that, folks, brings us to the end of yet another episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast. It was episode 22. We've got at least 4 more episodes this year. That is, if we are unable to raise any more funds through our GoFundMe page. A massive thank you to everyone that has so far donated. We've raised a total of $810. Thank you sincerely. And all the information, you saw the ticker at the bottom of the screen. So just simply go to GoFundMe, type in Geelong Region Soccer Show, and you'll find all the details there. Or go to our Facebook page or our Instagram page, and you'll find information in past posts as well. Once again, thank you so much for being a part of this week's episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show podcast. We look forward to having your company again next Monday night for another episode, when it will be sponsored by the Masters Summer League. They've got some big news happening there in the coming off season, with the likelihood of an over 45s competition. We'll find out a bit more about that. We also hope to find out about some of the benevolent activities that the Geelong Masters Summer League is involved with, some of the behind the scenes that we don't normally get to hear about. But that's all on next week's show. Until then, good night. Bye-bye.